Hi guys, Matt here from Pautan.org. Now, this is the brand new updated Nissan X-Trail and it is finally available and on sale here in Malaysia. Seeing as it's one of ETCM's best-selling models, well, you now get 4 variants to choose from, up from the existing 2. Also, for the first time, you get a new 2-litre hybrid variant. That's a first for the Nissan X-Trail, by the way, and it sits on top of the range just above this 2.5-litre 4-wheel drive. Now, if you want to know what's new with each of the cars, well, Hafiz has already done a very detailed walk-around review, so be sure to give that cute man a watch. For this particular review, I'm going to take you through the mechanical side of things to, well, let you know what's new, and of course touch a little bit on the 2-litre hybrid because some of you are definitely going to be interested in that. But just to recap, for those of you who haven't seen the videos, well, the X-Trail gets a brand new front face essentially. You got a sleeker front LED headlights, a bolder V-motion grille, a more muscular front bumper with rectangular fog lamps, as well as 17-inch alloy wheels with a little bit of a pitchfork design. And over to the back, you've got LED taillights along with a shark fin antenna. It looks much better than before. And for all 3 models, except the cheapest one, they get this motion sensing powered tailgate. Yeah. For the cabin, you get a new flat bottom steering wheel. It looks much nicer than before. Some new cabin trimmings, as well as electromechanical parking brake. Feels like an afterthought because it's put here, but you know, at least you have it now, and it comes with auto hold assist. And there is also a new 7-inch touchscreen head unit that finally supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Welcome to the 21st century Nissan. Other things I have to point out is that the cabin actually feels more or less the same as before, which is to say not bad, but in terms of overall quality, I think it still falls short of the Mazda CX-5 and the Proton X70 and the Volkswagen Tiguan. Those really set the bar up really high. This is not by any means bad, but it's just lacking in the overall premium feeling, I think. But having said that, the seats are actually really comfortable and it's easily one of the best in class, and that I have to give to Nissan. They always nail the seats. Other things you don't get to see, touch and feel include stuff like more use of sound deadening materials. So that goes around the car, in the doors, under the floor, and just under the dashboard. And that helps create a more quiet place for the cabin and for all passengers. But for now, since we are already in a 2.5 4-wheel drive, why not give this guy a spin? Let's go! Mechanically, this car uses the same setup as before, so it still retains the same 2.5-litre 4-cylinder MPI engine, which makes about 171 PS and 233 Nm of torque. If you're not into the whole hybrid thing but still want some flexibility in terms of power, then this 2.5-litre 4-wheel drive is probably the best one for you. I find it adequately powerful for most driving situations, and the Xtronic CVT, which Nissan says has been beefed up for better reliability, does its job well in both urban and long-distance driving. The stepped ratios give a decent surge of power that's helpful when overtaking cars, but it generally lacks the oomph that you would get with a conventional automatic. It's not a problem, it's just personal preference, but I think lots of people out there will be okay with this CVT. Now, one of the key things with this 2.5-litre engine is that it feels very responsive and very eager to go. However, when you want to take the car, especially into the corner, you really start to feel the extra weight, especially from the heavier engine and the 4-wheel drive system. So it tends to roll a little bit more in the bends compared to the 2-litre non-hybrid. But having said that, I think this engine is a very competent unit. Like I said, it's very responsive. And our 0 to 100 test shows that this guy is pretty capable, you know. It does that in 10.9 seconds. That's really not too shabby, but if you want to compare this against the CR-V Turbo, well, the CR-V Turbo gets there in the high 8 seconds or low 9 seconds, somewhere around that. Comparatively, X-Trail 2.5, not as quick, but like I said, it's good enough. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the 2-liter hybrid because I'm pretty sure some of you are excited about it, or at least planning to get it. Now, I'm pleased to tell you that it is by far the quickest sprinter of the lot. It's even quicker than this 2.5-liter 4-wheel drive unit. It does the 0 to 100 in 9.7 seconds, which is well over 1 second quicker than this 4-wheel drive car. So pretty competent stuff right there. And unlike the Nissan Serena S hybrid, the 2-wheel drive hybrid, it's 2-wheel drive only, is a proper parallel hybrid car, which means it can operate either using the electric motor or petrol engine independently. For the engine, the hybrid also shares the same MR20DD 2-liter direct injection engine as the non-hybrid models, so it makes about 144 PS and 200 Newton meters of torque. The electric motor, on the other hand, it makes about 41 PS and 160 Newton meters of torque, but unfortunately Nissan does not give us the combined system output, so we won't know for sure what the final figure is that gets sent to the wheels. However, we do know that the hybrid does 6.21 liters per 100 kilometers, and Nissan says that it's one of the best, it's actually the best in class, so pretty good stuff there. In fact, to add more to Nissan's good books is the fact that all engines that power the X-Trail are EEV certified. The hybrid also gets a CVT, but between the engine and the transmission is a twin clutch mechanism that can decouple the two. This allows the vehicle to coast at speeds of under 120 kilometers per hour, which further contribute to fuel saving. While the hybrid is the most powerful, it's not quite as smooth as this 2.5-liter model, but the hybrid engine is definitely better refined. The X-Trail hybrid is a front-wheel drive only, and its position as the top model above the 4-wheel drive mirrors Proton and Honda's strategy with the X70 and CR-V. For those of you who are thinking of getting the regular 2-liter models, well, all you need to know, it's pretty much a carryover from before, plus the more robust CVT gearbox and the improved safety and equipment list. And if you must know, well, it does the 0 to 100 in 12.4 seconds, so no guesses there, it really is the slowest of the bunch. Having driven all the updated X-Trail range, I can safely say that cabin insulation is definitely a step better, especially when you want to compare this to the older model. So it generally is a quieter place to be in, and it's definitely more refined, I can tell you that. It's good stuff. Also, one last thing I want to highlight is the fact that Nissan has for the first time introduced Nissan Intelligent Mobility. It's got upgraded stuff like 6 airbags and the whole lane departure warning and autonomous emergency braking. That's a very important feature and should be mandatory in most cars above or around this price range. But Hafriz Shah is going to take you through all the safety systems, all the safety features, so be sure to give that video a watch. So if you're planning to get a 7-seat SUV, the X-Trail is actually one of few that are currently on sale, with the closest competitor being the Mitsubishi Outlander. Now, if I were to really be honest with you guys, this is technically a 5+2 because the third row seat is only really comfortable for tiny children. So if you find yourself unwittingly short in a third row seat during a casual lunch break, then chances are your colleagues don't like you very much. The hybrid is the only one here without the third row seats, and that's because the 0.9 kilowatt-hour battery pack rests under the boot floor. The good news is there's still a spare tire, but the raised boot floor means you lose a bit of boot space, and there's no place for you to store the tonneau cover. Now, I'm completely fine with the X-Trail being a 5-seater, so if it were up to me, someone who does not have kids yet, the X-Trail hybrid would be my pick of the lot. And in terms of pricing, the X-Trail is priced from 134,000 ringgit to 160,000 ringgit, which is exactly the same as before. But if you're talking about value, this one is much better because you get more kit and more safety equipment. And in that price range, it also puts it right within the crosshairs of the Honda CR-V. Of course, the Proton X70 is also a direct competitor, a C-segment SUV, but the Proton is a bit of a special case. They're both C-segment SUVs, but unfortunately the X70 does not come as a 7-seater configuration. In short, the Nissan X-Trail facelift improves on many of the aspects that most of you consider lacking from before, so it's good to see that Nissan actually take the trouble to address those issues once and for all. So I guess that's it for this video. Let us know what you think of this car and which one of the 4 you would actually choose in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.